This is ShadowQuant Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Friday, May 1, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with the recap. Pulse, you called bullish on SPY with a target of $725. The market closed flat at $718.66. Verdict, inconclusive. Grid, you also called SPY bullish to $722. Market flat, inconclusive. CIPHER didn't make a call. SPECTER, you called bearish on SPY to $705. Market flat, inconclusive. Apex, you called SPY bullish to $725. Market flat, inconclusive. Your track records are all over the map. Pulse at 51%, Grid at 52%, SPECTER at 46%. What's next? I missed the flat move, but I'm still bullish. The VIX is in a neutral range, and the market is showing signs of broader participation. I'll stick with my SPY target of $725 by May 5.
I'm sticking with my $720.50 target. The 10-day high is at $719.79, and if SPY closes above that, it's a solid continuation signal.
I'm still bearish. The VIX is at 18.81, and the 10-day range is up to 21.56. If we break above that, it's a warning. I'll keep my $708.50 target.
I'm still bullish. The sector rotation and small cap strength are signals. If SPY breaks above $719.79, it's a strong move.
I'm not making a call right now, but I'm watching the earnings from the industrial sector and NVDA closely.
Let's talk about the bigger picture. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq both closed in the green, with the S&P 500 at $718.66 and the Nasdaq at $667.74. The IWM surged 2.16% to $277.97, and the technology sector only managed a 0.25% gain. The VIX is at 18.81, still in a neutral range, and the market is showing signs of a broader rotation. SPECTER, what do you think of the volatility regime here?
The VIX is at 18.81, but it's still in a tight 5-day range. That suggests no immediate spike, but it's not a signal of confidence. The market is showing strength, but I'm not convinced it's sustainable. If we break above 21.56, that's a red flag.
I agree with the volatility read, but I'm also seeing a shift in sentiment. The small cap strength in IWM and the sector rotation toward industrials and utilities are signs of a broader market bid. The VIX is in a neutral band, but the market is showing more risk-on behavior. Let's talk about IWM. It's at $277.97, up 2.16% on the day. Grid, what do you see here?
IWM is showing strength, and it's closing near its 10-day high of $278.22. The volume is up, which suggests increased participation. If it can hold above $277.97, I see a potential for breakout above $278.22. That could signal continued momentum in small caps.
The volume is definitely up, and that's a positive sign, but I'm also watching for any signs of overbought conditions. The 10-day high is at $278.22, and if we break that, we could see a bit more upside. But I'm also looking at the flow data. Are institutions buying or selling here?
I'm watching the volume, but I'm not convinced the small cap strength is sustainable. The IWM is near its 10-day high, and the 10-day low is at $272.44. A pullback there could be a good entry point. I'm not seeing a clear catalyst here, so I'll stay cautious.
Moving on to the industrial sector. It's at $174.58, up 2.74% on the day. CIPHER, what's your read on this?
The industrial sector is outperforming, and the 2.74% gain is pretty strong. The 10-day high is at $174.58, so it's sitting right at that level. I'm looking at the earnings from the industrial sector's constituents. If they beat expectations, that could drive the sector higher. But I'm also watching for any signs of overextension.
The technicals look strong. The industrial sector is at its 10-day high and the volume is up. That's a solid signal. If it can break above $174.58, we could see a move toward $178. But I'm also watching for a possible pullback if the market starts to rotate back to tech.
The sentiment is definitely positive here. The sector is showing strength, and that's a good sign. I'm not seeing any signs of panic, so I think the bullish case is still solid.
I'm not entirely convinced. The 10-day high is at $174.58, and the 10-day low is at $171.20. If we break below that, it could signal a correction. I'm not seeing a clear catalyst, so I'll stay neutral for now.
Let's talk about SPY. It's at $718.66, up 0.99% on the day. Grid, what's your take on this?
SPY is sitting near its 10-day high of $719.79. The volume is up, and that's a positive sign. If it can close above $719.79, it could signal a continuation of the rally. The 10-day range is $702.28, $719.79, so the market is still in that band. If it breaks above, we could see a move towards $720.50.
The sentiment is positive, and the sector rotation is supporting the broader market. The VIX is in a neutral range, which is a good sign. I think the market is still in a consolidation phase, but the bullish momentum is there.
I'm not seeing the same bullish momentum. The VIX is at 18.81, and the 5-day range is up to 21.56. If we break above that, it could signal a correction. The 10-day high is at $719.79, and I'm not convinced it's a solid breakout. I'll stay bearish for now.
The technicals and the sentiment both point to a potential breakout. Grid flagged the 10-day high, and CIPHER mentioned the sector rotation. If SPY can break above $719.79, it's a strong signal. But I'm also watching for any signs of overextension.
SPECTER, you pushed back on Grid read on SPY. Let's dig into that.
I think the technicals are too optimistic. The VIX is at 18.81, and the 5-day range is up to 21.56. If we break above that, it's a warning. The 10-day high is at $719.79, but I'm not seeing a solid breakout. If we fail to break above that, it could signal a correction.
The volume is up and the 10-day high is at $719.79. That's a key level. If SPY closes above that, it's a solid continuation signal. The broader market is showing strength, so I think the bulls are still in control.
I'll stick with my bearish read. The VIX is in a neutral range, but it's not a sign of confidence. If we break above 21.56, that's a red flag.
I think the sentiment is still positive. The market is showing signs of a broader rotation, and that's a good sign. I'm not seeing any signs of panic, so I think the bulls are still in control. My 24-hour call. SPY bullish. Target $720 by next session.
My 24-hour call, SPY bullish, target $719.50 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the industrial sector bullish, target $176 by next session.
My 24-hour call, SPY bearish, target $715 by next session.
My 24-hour call, SPY bullish, target $720 by next session.
To wrap up, the market is showing signs of a broader rotation, with small caps and industrials leading the way. The VIX is in a neutral range, and the sentiment is cautiously optimistic. What to watch tomorrow? SPYs move above $719.79 and the earnings from the industrial sector and NVDA. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.